Yeah, we back with another
Absolutely.
episode of Couch Conspiracies.
Sure. But yeah, we back. And once again, it's still context. It's not content.
All day,
Conspiracy theories all day. So
all
y'all,
day.
y'all chime in. Let us know what y'all think. Comment on all these matters and subject matters that we're bringing up. Just comment on it. It helps a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
we
share,
want we
and
want to hear
subscribe
what
as
y'all
well.
think. But like I was saying outside earlier,
Mm-hmm.
this advancement that they have with all these moon missions that they're doing all of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
you said you think they were already there,
Oh, they've been there, man.
as in humans been there
Yes,
from
yes,
humans from Earth.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been there. They've worked with tall whites, Nordics. They've been there.
On the dark side of the moon.
Dark side of the moon.
Okay.
Yes, they've been there.
They did just recently take pictures of the dark side of the moon too. Were you
What did they
aware of that?
show? Did they crop? Or they cropped something out? I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure they cropped some
I don't
things out.
know. I don't know if they cropped it out. Um, it just showed like craters and stuff.
Exactly. Bless,
Excuse me.
bless.
Thank you. Yeah, they just showed like I don't know. It's like a massive crater that they showed.
And see, my thoughts on, like I said, they've been up there since about 2003. You know, from the 40s, they've been the mid 40s since Roswell, and it was a wrench also in Mexico near Roswell. The first crash actually happened. There was three crashes that day, right? That's what a lot of people don't know. But it was three crashes that day. The first one was on a ranch. But either
But
way,
didn't
they've
the
been
first
working.
one get confirmed to be something else? Didn't the first one get confirmed to be like
They
some type of
tried to.
balloon
They
or
tried
something?
to same way they did with Roswell with the air balloon or
The
whatever.
weather balloon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same thing. You know, they tried to do it, but the report that came out already. You know, papers were different back then. You know, like so
But do you
it
think they
came
were
out, and
just
then they tried to.
speculating because they were papers? Because they're like, can't believe nothing that
Nah,
you believe in the papers.
absolutely not.
It's
You
just like the
no.
Sun or the
A
Inquirer or
reporter
something.
is. I think one thing about newspaper reporters or a reporter or a journalist, period, they're passionate about that. So they're not gonna sit out there and take any
Not all
sources.
of them, but some do.
You got some that do things, yeah, unethically, right? But those who keep their ethics, right, they're gonna hold their sources close to their vest, right? Close to their chest. They're not gonna let you know who their sources are. They want to put that facts out. They want to put those facts out there for the public, for the people. So I think a true journalist or anybody who writes for a paper and you're aspiring to be a journalist until you have a column or whatever it may be, like you're going to tell the truth. You're going to
So you
report on the
believe it
real. You're
was
not
it
going
was
to.
more than one crash
It
that
was
day in
more. It
Roswell.
was more. It's documented. It was more than one crash. The first one was on a ranch. Before Roswell is the most popular one that people know about, but the first one was on a ranch, and it's a farmer. When the crash went down, and all the metals we were talking about a while ago, where you pick them up, they can't burn, you bend them or whatever,
Hmm.
light, but
Yeah, I
comes
remember the
back in the
study.
air.
I remember the scientists was talking about that, but
Yeah, but that was there. I can't recall the name, but it was a ranch in Mexico, in New Mexico, because Roswell is in Mexico, New Mexico, right?
now
So
did those parts get, because I remember reading about the scientist who was studying some of those parts, and he was talking about the metals. He said it was light as a feather,
mhm,
but you couldn't bend it, you couldn't shoot through it, you couldn't do like couldn't burn.
right.
Um, is he the one? Did he know about that too? Did he study the parts from that crash as well, or did they not go that deep into it?
I don't know because you might be talking you might be referring to Heineck.
Yeah, he was a
You
researcher.
talking about
Yeah.
Heineck, yeah, but he was on the payroll though. So he started off as trying to figure out the truth, but then he's the Project Blue Book guy, right? That's what you're talking about,
Yeah.
Heineck. Yeah, Dr. James Heineck, I believe that's his name. But
Hmm.
yeah, he was on the payroll.
He was on whose payroll? The government payroll.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. He at first it started out as him wanting to, but they got to him. You know, you tap them pockets like, hey, brother,
So, do
put
you
this
think the U.S.
information
is
out
the
there.
only country that had a down UFO? I
No,
mean,
absolutely
there's
not.
a
You
lot
got
of
you got
other
one in you
countries should
got
have
one in
that
England. You
technology
got the
too.
one in England when they had hieroglyphics and a little small what base was that? That was a base in Europe. I said England, but it was a base in Europe.
Mm.
I can't think of it, but yeah, And they have the people talking about that as well who went through that whole situation on the base. This is a base. You know, they normally target bases like you got nuclear bombs, or not saying all bases, not saying bases hold nuclear bombs, but you know they visit and frequent bases from military, air force, whatever it may be, navy.
Do you think they're visiting, or do you think they like just coming back to bring intel and they just like happen to crash or something? Because that's probably
I mean,
where
you know,
their base was
they
at.
they had. I'm about to say they had bases in the water. They had bases in certain
Yeah,
spots
so
over here in the
it could have been they
mountains.
was coming back to the
Right,
base and they just end up crashing,
the
and then they
tall,
said, "Hey, we got to make up a story about this," and then
the
they said, "Oh, it was weather balloon or whatever."
you
But they
like.
could have already been here, and they could have just been coming back to their base. And they
I
just
mean,
end up
I'm pretty
crashing.
sure they're in communication with the shadow government, the people they need to communicate with. Absolutely. But with all government workers or Congress, senators, or whatever, if you're not into that shadow world, you're not getting that
Do
information.
you think all of them are into the shadow world, or do you
Not
think
all
some
of
of them are just they're just in here? We're just going to use you for this for as a pawn, but we're not going to tell you
But those
everything.
are the people who put out disinformation. That's what I say about disinformation. Disinformation is something they're putting out there to make it seem true, but it's not true.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the presidents too. Like you see how
They don't know,
they're
and they
like,
don't
oh,
know.
we're gonna let you be
They're
the
not privy.
president.
They're
We're gonna
not
let you do
privy.
your
They're
thing.
not
We're not
privy.
gonna tell
They're
you.
not
That's what I'm
privy to
saying.
that. Yeah, they're
So
not.
it's some people that's in the shadow government. They don't
That's
know they're in
that's
the
what I
shadow
said.
government.
That's what I said. No, they're working for the shadow government. They
Yeah,
they they work for the shadow
right, but
government,
they
but they
don't
don't know.
know. But they
That's
don't
what I
know.
feel. What
Yeah,
you yeah, they not.
yeah.
They don't know nothing though, but they working for them.
Right, right,
That's who
right.
funding everything. That's why
Mhm,
it's shadow. It's investors. It's like a
mhm,
silent partner, right? With any investment you go into, the silent partner, I never know he put his money into this. That's why I
mhm.
blew up so quick.
Right.
You got that funder, like
Mhm.
so. That's how I go. The sponsor, as certain females would say. But they got it. As long as they got that, they good.
And you mentioned the tall grays
Yeah, they're not as
earlier,
gray.
and
They
I don't
kind of
want to
like
get
orange.
too much
They like
into that.
grayish orange.
But
Right.
where do they reside? Do they
They
live here on Earth?
normally. I was gonna get into that when we were talking about bases, right? So the tall grays, the ancient, they're actually called ancient grays. They're kind of orangish, grayish, like that type of hue, mixed combined together, right?
Mm.
But they normally reside like in like the mountains or things of that nature. The reptilians normally reside underground in like deserts and things of that nature.
Okay.
Tall whites and Nordics, they just come and visit, or they might be here already. Not the
Okay.
tall whites,
So
but the
which
Nordics.
ones live underwater?
That I don't know.
Because
Don't
that's
I
what they say
can't.
all the UFO bases are
Now
underwater.
that's certain USO bases though. Unidentified submerged
Well, they're
objects. Those
saying
are
things are coming from
USOs.
the sky and then they're going into the water. That's what a lot of the recent sightings have been like
But it's
things, and then they
they
got a
always
bunch of
been USOs always been out there. They
yeah.
always been
So
they've been out
so
there.
you don't have
I
any
don't know the
theories on
species of
anything
that.
that's
No, I don't know the entities of extraterrestrials. The types of those
and
who's
you
in it.
yourself never seen a UFO.
Here you go. No,
No,
I haven't.
I'm just saying because we
I've
can't. It
told you
got cut
this
off the last
three
time, so
times over. No, I've
I
never
know,
seen
but
a
they
UFO.
gotta know.
I don't know. I know. I didn't. I don't know. But since y'all got to know, I've never seen a UFO. And I have my
I
sources
have seen
as
a
always.
UFO. I have seen several UFOs,
Hmm.
and I have sketches of UFOs. Like since I was little, I've seen them. But I do not believe in the gray theory. I do believe it's some type of beings that's here, that's within our
Oh,
government
Gray's
and
not
working
gonna be here
secretly.
though.
But
Not
I
the
don't. But
ancient Grays.
yeah, but
You talking
I
about
don't
those
believe in none of those.
androids? You talking about the androids? The small, the 3-footers? Those are
Yeah,
androids. They
I don't
robots.
believe in none of those.
They robots, yo.
I don't believe I believe
They
in
work for
something
people.
here,
They
but we don't
robots.
know. I don't think we know what they look like, or I don't believe we know anything about them other than the people that's working with them. They're the only ones
Man,
that
you
know.
ran across people. If you ran across a Nordic and something like a reptilian in the mall, never knew it.
It
You
might have been
ran
something
across a
else.
shapeshifter.
It might have been
If
something
that's what it was.
that's what we
You just
perceive
don't
them
know.
as though, because of our mind is only has a certain capacity to
Yeah,
think. We might
you're
associate it
not in
with
the
the
fifth
reptile, or
dimension.
we might associate it with tall gray or something like that.
That
But
third eye,
it
son.
might
We're
be
not in the
something
fifth
else.
dimension. A lot of people can't get to that fifth dimension.
But a lot of us are looking with our regular eyes. That's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
that third eye, you gotta open that
You
mind.
got to look at
But that's
who's.
the program, right?
What you mean the program?
That's how they want you to.
So we can't see them.
Exactly. So you
Yeah.
can't see anything.
Well-
all the realness. They put all this chaos and madness and all the stuff that's quote unquote entertaining, the drama, the Zeus networks, all this crazy stuff.
But all that negative
so
energy.
they doing that to suppress your third eye, so it can't open into one word.
Yeah, I think
what
all
they're
that
doing, and
all
people
that
don't
negative
realize that.
energy is more so spiritual, like demons and stuff like that. I don't think it's any type of
I didn't say it was.
UFO
I didn't
as
say
we
that's what's
explain
causing.
it. We might explain it as a UFO, but I
that's
think
not
that's
what's
all
causing
some
your third eye to
spiritual
work.
thing.
We're talking about